So here we go. We're going to continue updating our event here. So here, this is all looking pretty good. This says that this is a problem because it has no reference from network core events to. So let's go ahead and make a new event handler in here. So if I come over and grab the old one from the here, and now we're going to bring this over into core. Put it right there. This args is coming from the other one, which is fine. Okay. Good morning, Shadow. It's going great. How are you doing today? We'll get rid of this one. We'll add this one here. Now here you have this thing called iNetworking connection. iNetwork connection here, which is part of my overlay, so that's fine. BLL networking base. So if you look at BLL networking base, this thing is passing in this core networking here, which is a type of connection event args, da 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 da. So if you did it this way, then you'd have to have 6 of those TUV WXY like this. So this one's going to be a okay, let me move this over here for just a second so I can grab all these correct ones. Where W is a type of connection event args, where U is a type of message event args, and where V is a type of error event args. What? Oh, W, X, Y. Like that. So now this connection event handler here is a T, but it's never going to do this because you need to add in the connection event handlers in here because you have a new event. So you have a private event and it's called a network event handler, which is fine. And the first one that you're going to send in is type X, and it's going to be called a connection event. It's not an X, it's a T. Network event handler says it doesn't exist over here in core. Networking event handler, sorry. So this says that this thing can't be used here because this isn't inheriting from base args, but it is, but it's a different base args. So if you look at this one again, this is a different args. Oop, networking event handler. You want this one, network event handler, in BLL events, da 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 da. So over here, you can do this. Oh, did you put this over in the wrong one? No, this should be in core. Interesting. Doing pretty good, just chugging along. Ah, you hear that? I'm anxious to get this project completed. We're pretty close now. Hold on. Oh, this is the wrong one. This needs to be phs.bll.core. Networking. Interesting. Why don't I see that at all over here? networking event handler. It should be right there. There it is. There we go. And then we need two more of these, right? One for U and V. And we're going to call this one the message event, and then we'll call this one a error event. Okay. Down here, this is a connection event. Like that. This thing's a message event, right? And then this one here is the networking event handler called the error event, right? Message event and error event, U and V. Oops, and these need to be events dot. Okay. Let's go ahead and add all this stuff, X, Y, and Z in here. Do you need that? Hold on. This is events on all of these. And we don't need to add the other ones in here. I don't think it's that big of a deal. That looks pretty good there. Okay, so now here, you're doing an IBLL networking base here, so you have to add in all of the parameters on this. Here, BLL networking base, it says doesn't exist here. So here we want to make sure that in my overlay console app that we have a reference to the BLL, allie.chat BLL. That one. Do you have a better one for that? I don't think it was that one you wanted. It was the core. You have a reference to core. This says that this takes more arguments. That's what it is. So now the next one here is a we can take all of these and just drop them right down to the next one, and then we just need to add BLL in here. Ta-da. Wait, why didn't that take? Hold on. It says that this won't take a polling event handler cannot be found. What are you talking about? This one's coming from core networking. This one's coming from core networking. The type or name polling event handler cannot be found. That is so strange. So let's do these. It Same deal. We have to add the generics below, and then we'll add the BLLs in. I feel like I probably need to add in the other interface or something, or the other generics or something. Or it's right here. That would do it. And these need to have BLL in front. This thing says that it cannot be used because it can't convert message and error. Here, BLL connection event, that looks right. What's the problem here? Base polling here. That looks fine. Hey there, Avanato. Thank you for that follow. Appreciate that. If you have any questions, please put them in the channel. Also, all these videos are up on YouTube, youtube.com/c/liverdevtrain. Thanks again for checking us out. Let's see here. This looks fine. It says that this... It says that this can't be used here because you need these. That would make sense. Like that. BLL WS error event args. Where is that? It says that this one doesn't exist here. There it is. And then my iCore networking only has these ones, which are BLL, BLL, BLL. Now we have an issue. You can only have two things called core networking. So this isn't a core networking over here. This is a IBLL core networking. IBLL networking base using that. Okay. That looks better. This one up here says that you have to take 5 SQL arguments, so that's an easy change. Pull that through. Like that. And then we have to do the same thing here with this BLLs. I think my mouse is running out of juice. This is my IBLL networking base. So you have a problem in here somewhere. Not too bad. Oh, you have this in here twice. That's interesting. If you look here, BLL TCP server should be running this, that. It's coming along. Okay, it says that I'm missing a namespace, and I am. That looks better. And we're not using args type anymore on these. But if you look here at fire event, this needs to be a BLL, BLL, and a BLL. So we'll bring these things across. like that, and then this is a BLL. We'll add this in where it needs to go, and same thing here. This thing changed to a, no, that's right. Oh man, sorry, that was really loud. I hit my mouse right into the microphone. I'm so sorry about that. Never done that yet. Interesting. Interesting, never done that yet. Okay, here we go. Networking base, we'll add the references. Okay. And syntax error here. And it's still going to want to have a reference to something that it doesn't have yet. Where is that? It says base polling, doesn't have this, but it totally does. Don't worry about that. Let's keep looking. This thing now, we're in the program for the overlay. So if you have a message event, I think it's called a where is the, it should have something on here for, yeah, right here. It does not implement. But if you look at this networking base, does this have your events on it? It does. It does have connection event. So you need to make sure that you have the polling event. Come on. Polling event inside of this. Why can't I find polling event? Well, let's start here. This one is another network connection here, iNetwork connection in the overlay. So we'll start here. This looks like Y. So if we grab these and we need to drop them below, right? And this is going to be the BLL socket connection here, like that and that. We'll add the usings, we'll add the usings, we'll add the networking base here. What's wrong here? Core networking, that's fine. What's the problem here? It says it's not in the interface. Hold on. Oh, because this is all a IBLL networking base, which means it's just these. So we could just take this whole thing so that we save it, and then we can just add it up there. That's better. Here's network connection. That's fascinating. I wonder what the problem is here with why it really, really, really wants me to add polling event. Because it should be here, and it is, and it's being utilized with these event args. I mean, all that looks fine. So let's look at the top here. This says that my on connection events are all screwy now. Because you want these to be BLL for each one, right? You'll add in the references. There's that. So here we'll do a switch here on my e.message event type. We'll do it again here. Okay, another time. Like that. No, wait, let me go back. We wanted to add in BLL in front of this. Okay. Same thing here. Looking good. 34. This is an error invoke for this thing, my handler. This wants to be a BLL right here. So this one needs to be a different event handler. So we'll do events.networking. Interesting. So where was the other one? It was in the core? Yeah, in here. Let's add that. Okay. This one says that in connections up here, this is a BLL. It says that this is a TCP connection servers. You're saying that this is a socket connection, so this is going to be a BLL socket connection like that. Same thing there. This one doesn't exist. And this is a BLL message event type. This thing is a BLL socket message event type. Okay. Same thing there. Same thing here. We can get rid of this one. And we can add this. Same thing here. This is a BLL message event type, right? $32. Got rid of that one. And then this is a BLL message event type. Same thing here. Same thing here. And up here. Cranking through it. This needs to be a BLL message event args, right? We'll leave it like that for now. BLL socket message event args. Networking base here needs to have this pulling event. Solved. Connection not authorized here. We'll say that this is a connected, right? Same with this one. Same with this one. Same thing here. And this one. This one's easy. We just add this BLL in front, and then we need to add this in front here. We need to add our reference to core, and then this should resolve here. Looks good. These here need to be BLL. Oops, nope, that's wrong. Where was that error? You have this connection event here inside of client. So this is grabbing the wrong thing. This needs to be a I networking base. No, that is a I core networking, that's right. We'll just work our way through it. Wait, down here. It says that, can I implement this now? That's fine. Okay. Same thing there. There's an identifier expected. So we'll do a connection event here. This is on my what program, so we could do it on connection event, a message event, and then an error event. So this is a on connection event. This is going to be an on error event. So this one goes to be a BLL socket message event args, which changes these. And now this one is a network identity.socket. That's fine. But if you look at on message event, this is a on connection event. So that's all it is. Okay. On networking event here, once this is in program, so this is a BLL error events. But I think that it's going to want a WebSocket. This one says that this is a WebSocket client. Which is just going to be passing back these core networking things, which is right. So we just want to do this as these with no BLLs on this. Right? And that means that this goes away. Okay. So this is going to be connected, and this one doesn't exist. Okay. No overload here. This is inside of the BLL. So it's like this. Oops. Up here under connections, why didn't it like network identity here? Because it's not passing in the socket, so it's just like this. That looks better. Nope. If you come back over here, we want to get rid of this one. Looks good. So here you could say that this is your var message equals this. You're just going to say that this is your args. And then you put that right there. This one doesn't have these BLLs anymore. And it doesn't have that. This is going to be connected. This thing, because you're in the BLL, needs to have this TCP identity. I really think that this should be BLL. Socket connection event args, but it can't because that's what's happening in here. So we'll just add this here. We're going to say that it doesn't have an account. The is authorized is false. And my socket here is the e.socket. Add account here. Oh no, we do that down here after we pass in the token. So that's right. Last one here. On open, what we're going to do is we're going to fire this, which says that this is connected. And you'll fire this connection across. Let's go ahead and rebuild it. Just a few. This one says that this TCP recursive server, that it doesn't have this, so this is going to be a, we can leave this one in here. This one's going to be connected. Same with this one. Same with this one. This one says that this doesn't implement that one, which is fine. And same there. Same there. That's what I don't understand, is where this is getting this from. BLL based polling event cannot, because it doesn't have the matching return type of that. There it is. Man, that's been making it challenging for me for a while. This one's in the BLL core bots. So here you have this message event handler, which is going to be a BLL message event handler, right? Actually, isn't this a, hold on. Wait. You never touched this message event handler. So here in BLL, channel event handler, connection event handler, message event handler, right here. Easy. A few more here. This one is a BLL WS. It's a core networking, and we want to pass in the BLL, the BLL, and the BLL. We don't want core networking. It was I networking base. IBLL networking base. Yeah. Okay. Build it again. Oh, you gotta love heredity. Okay, so here, same deal. We got to remove this, and then we have to probably just add in that reference here. Easy enough, right? This is cake. Couple of meta files. This one says that it doesn't have new connection because on connected in BLL Discord should be a connected. I guess we'll have to see. That seems a little funny, to be honest. Okay, that should be all of them. Try it again. This one doesn't have new connection here. Hey there, Wario Solus. Thank you for that follow. Appreciate that. If you have questions, please make sure you pop them in the channel. We got a really active, supportive community. Appreciate you being a part of it. Let me pass over the Discord. It's the main way that everyone stays in communication. And all the videos are up on YouTube, youtube.com/c/LiverDevTrain. Thanks, man. This one's going to be a new BLL bot, and we want to do a connected. That should be it. Let's go ahead and rebuild. Hey, this one says it doesn't have set polling interval, which is fine. It also doesn't have a set polling event. Easy enough. Probably same thing down here. And we'll build it again. Okay, it built. Let's try running it. Okay, so this one here is the TCP client. This one over here is the bot. This one here is this is TCP, this is WebSocket. The Web API and the MVC are loaded up here, and the identity server is running in the background. Give it just a second to start. Okay, server started. The stream's been added to the memory. That's always a good sign. It should say that I'm online and join the channel here. Hello. Okay, I didn't see it fire over here. Hello. And I didn't see it fire there. Hey there, DK Pen Gwen 99. How are you doing? So here I want to check something on my routes under allie.chat. You are creating that, right? Here in Start Services, it's like the very last one. Here it is. So when a message comes in, you should be subscribing it in here, here, and then also here. Let's try it again. Wait for it to start. I want to see if this still adds to my channel. Or is that erroring? That's interesting. That's very interesting. So I wanted to, well, let's try this first. So it never received a message here, but it is connected. So when it's being sent across the wire at my Websocket server, on your message event in here, it says that these are never being used because you are never firing them, because you're never saying fire events. That would totally do it. So here you need to make sure that you have 3 little functions in here, which are called protected virtual void fire event, and you're going to have an object sender and then a network event handler of type T called, I guess it's just called a T, and you're going to call that an E for event args, and then you can just do a connection event question mark dot invoke, and then we want to invoke the sender and E. We should be able to rinse and repeat that for the other 2, T, U, and V, right? And this one will be a message event. And this one will be a error event. It still says it's never being used, but I don't believe it, because in my WebSocket server, when you receive a message now, you're doing this in start, and then you're going to fire these events. So back over here in start, it's here, and you do a connection dot connection event plus equals to on connection event, and then a connection dot error event plus equals to on error event, and then also a connection event dot message event plus equals to on message event. Now, just so we don't forget, I wanted to add that onto the down here. I should have something called a public void dispose. I guess it's a public virtual void dispose. We're going to do this. If my connection is not equal to null, then you want to do this whole thing. And you want to unsubscribe these events. This is inheriting from a base class, so there should be a base.dispose, and then finally you can do this as an override. And here, all you do is a fire event, sender, and E. Interesting. Okay. So when I look at fire event now, you'll do a new one of these, and you want to do this as a connection is going to be equal to a this. Connection event type is equal to a this is a BLL WS message event args. So this is a message event type is equal to received. Can't you switch on this? This packet here is your packet, and that's it. Your connection, you're saying, is this WS connection args core networking, but in this should be a I networking core like this with a BLL and a BLL and a BLL. Hey there, Endorn. Thank you for that follow. Appreciate that. If you have any questions, by all means, please put them in the channel. Get a really active, supportive community. Appreciate you being a part. Also, all these videos are up on YouTube, youtube.com/c/liverdevtrying. I can put up the link if you like. Let me see. So the BLL here is in core, which is up here, and we want to look for networking base. So it's that. Are there any other things you want to pass in here? Probably not. If you got rid of this, can you just add that in? You can. And then we can fire this in one of two. Oh, we can do this, and then we could say var event type equals a message event type dot received. We'll do this as the BLL dot received. So if it is sent, then you can change this to be equal to received. Sorry, sent. Otherwise, it's going to be received. And then you can just pass event type into your event. We need to rinse and repeat here, which is a fire event type, and then we're going to have a new BLLWS connection, blah, 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 connection equals this, connection event type equals this is not this one, it's a BLL error, WS error event args. And the only two things that you have is the connection equals this, and you have an exception equals e.exception, and you have a message equals e.message. Here you have a fire, new, and now we can finally do that stupid connection event, right? And it's going to be a connection is equal to this, connection event type is equal to, and now what you want to do is you want to switch on this, e.connection event type, and then up here you want to say a var connection event type like this equals a BLL connection event type dot disconnect. So here, if it's connected, then we can say that it's connected. And this is just so that I don't have any, see, because this is the reason why. When we have a connection event on this and they're first connected, they are not authorized. And that's the reason. That's literally the whole reason we're doing this. This is a disconnect. This one here is a server start. This one here is a server stop. This next one is a connecting. And finally, this one here is a max connections reached. So we can add that. Here's the connection type. Is there anything else? No. Like that. It says that this is never being used because you are using it there. So I don't understand why that says that. This thing says that this has a problem because I think I have these in the base. Interesting. Here, it says error event is assigned to, whatever, we can run it again. Now, I think the reason is because when you're connecting with a WebSocket, I think it's, well, no, it shouldn't matter because it's adding you to a path. So let's see. Here you go. Let's try here. It says it's connected. When we run this now, this is going to be a message event type called received, and we'll just print it out. So that worked. Okay, now over here, when we look at our message event here on the connection event socket. So I want to look here on the connection event for socket, because here in BLL TCP server, it's got to be the same thing where you're not calling it. Here, when you have start, you're subscribing your on networking events in your server. So when you receive a connection attempt, let's do this one. Give it a second to load. Our connection attempt is server start. That's fine. This one is a connected. That's fine. So now we're going to try to send it to the TCP server. Hello world. I never saw that send. So in my console app, in program, when you're sending this here, you're enqueuing it, and then where are you dequeuing that? It's in your start TCP. I think you have something here for this, right? This is where you're dequeuing it. So you're serializing your message, which says test. You're adding your end of line characters, which are /r/n. You're going to fire your event, and then you're going to send it. So here in your begin send, where's your send callback? This is all again in my client, so let me try it again here. I just want to see if I can. Yes, that's disconnected. Let's try it again. Now it's connected. And we're going to try to add the socket here. So if we added our socket, we have one. There's our callback. Hey there, Navy Styles. Welcome to the channel. How are you doing? If we look at our packet, it's just got an action and a bunch of commands on it. Broadcast all clients. It's going to send the message here and then send it. So where is it authorizing? If we look in the BLL TCP server, that's in the BLL, and we want to look at sockets, and we want to look at TCP server. Super tired. You created your own .NET code? Well, I'm working on an ASP.NET MVC4 application. It has a web API to support it, and then a Windows service that's pretty comprehensive, which is what we're working on right now. And what it does is that it parses multiple RSS feeds, and then it opens it up that you can route messages to various channels. You can use it backend as a service model as a developer, or you can use it as a client if you would like with a chat, for example. Okay. This did not, I wanted to see where we checked our authorization. So let's find a reference here, which is here in received for on networking event under BLL TCP server. Let's see if we're getting this. I feel like this is supposed to go under connected, which is the problem. So let's try it again. We want to do overlay console app. Well, I got to go to class, says Shadow. Good luck with the rest of your day, man. Thanks, man. See you tomorrow. We'll try it again. It says it couldn't open it for writing, but it maybe can't. Oh, I don't know what it's doing. Let's just rerun the whole thing. And in the meantime, I'm gonna look at my Git real quick because I have a... Okay, everything's running. I wanted to look at my TCP server. Oh, that's not in Git, just a second. That's in, I made that as a flat backup. So just a moment, please. Okay, here's the first one. Server start, that looks fine. Connected, that looks fine. Send to server. My OAuth token, I've received it. I want to try to remove it. I did. If it is not authorized, and it's not, then I want to authorize it here. Which is, if it has that and it does, then we want to get the account. If the account, if it does not equal to null, then what we want to do is we want to pull out the OAuth token. We want to grab our account if there is one. We want to say that it's authorized. And that was where it failed. We wanted to get our identity, which is wrong. This is the socket. Okay, let's try it again. Everything's loading. We're going to try to authorize it. Let's get our socket. It still said no. Did you remove it or something? It looks like that it never added. So real quick, I need to run that again. It's removing it right here. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're going to try to see if it's authorized now. This time it is. We're going to update it. Now I want to look to see if I look at my hash in here, I should see it is authorized. We fire the event that says that it's authorized. We send the packet that says that we're connected. So now when we send this message across, this is received. It is going to write it. So that worked. But what didn't work was on your client when you received a message over here when you connected. So let's stop everything. I want to go and delete all of my breakpoints. Delete all breakpoints, and I want to see where you're broadcasting a message here. I don't think you're ever receiving one. In your start network services, you are doing an on message event here. And you're saying that if my network identity.socket.get hash code does not equal to network connection.get hash code, then you want to write this line. So let me look here and we'll run it again. Give it a second to start up. So that is totally connected, but when it's connected, it's supposed to send over. So on network connection, you're never firing this, are you? You have a couple of events here called send message, and then you have one here called send to server, which is in your client. So when you start this thing here, this is where you're doing your on networking event. And this is the only one you have. You only have a connection event. You also need to have a message event, on message event, and then also a connection dot on error event. We need to remove the innards there, and we want to make these protected and virtuals. We definitely want to dump this below, and we will move all of this stuff where it belongs. We can go ahead and change this to all be the same thing. It's interesting that this one didn't like that. That's better. So let's make sure that we can have these unsubscribed when we dispose. And now, when you get a networking event here, we want to do a fire event, which is going to be a sender, and then it's a new one of these connection events. And it's going to be equal to a type of, interesting. So you need to get a var connection event type equals a BLL connection event type dot, I don't care, disconnected or something. So that here you can just start assigning them. This one here is connected. This one here is disconnected. This one here is server start. This one here is server stop. Down here now, you can fire your event. and it's going to be this, and then you want to have the new BLL connection event, and you want to pass in your connection event type, and then also your network identity, which is what? What's that network identity in this thing? I think it's a new one. And all it is a socket equals a client service dot no. Connection dot socket. So I think you could just do that. This is your connection here. It's called BLL networking base. And that's going to be of a T, U, and a V. Which means now over here, this is a BLL, right? Yeah. And now these get BLLs in front of them. So now this one is a .network identity .socket. This one is a message event args, should be a BLL socket message event args. No, that is totally wrong. It was right before. Let's go back and just redo it. Where it was is that this needed to be a connection dot socket. Now this is a networking base. So up here, your connection at the moment, you're saying this is this TCP client, which inherits from this core networking. So I do want to go back in here and make this back to I networking core of my X, W, X, and Y. I core networking, sorry. So here, connection now is this I-core networking. And can't you cast that as this type? So you're able to retrieve your socket. And then also you need to get your is authorized is going to be. So for this is only when a new connection arrives. And then we'll do that. to do, fix this. This thing down here wanted these to have no overload here, matches this. Okay, let's go ahead and run it. So wait for it to start. Okay. Test. You can see, in fact, now it sent it over to the TCP server. Test. New connection, unauthorized. So this one fired a new connection event here, but TCP did not, right? So why was that? If you look up here in your allie.chat under your routing, then what I want to do is on this connection event here, and let's make sure that that's happening. So if you look at the server, here's a on connection event received, fire event here for if a message was received. And if you look here, you should have an event here that says, so this says that you are sending it, and this is that you have a connected authorized here. So this, where is this firing? Okay. If you look at where this is firing, it's firing this connection event here, which is not being subscribed. So BLL networking base. Well, this is connection authorized. So it's on my networking base here. And then, but you should be firing this also in your TCP server. Hold on. So if I look up here in routes at this, BLL TCP server should have something here called fire event, BLL socket connection args, BLL socket connection event args. It should fire here on a TCP server. Let's try it again. So I think though with the WebSocket, you're gonna have to pass that token across in the header, and if you don't, then you're gonna not be connected. So there is no having to wait to retrieve a message to validate it. Okay, so here we should be firing this event, which does in the base for my connection event, which says is null. BLL networking base. So is it because you're running start prior to here? No. There's no way. Let me try it again. I'm looking at it over here just a second. Interesting. Everything started there. Hey there, Oliver. How are you doing today? So, I mean, it's totally retrieving messages and connecting, but it's just not reporting the way I want. So let me try one more time. Here it is. We're saying that on the TCP server here, that in fact we are adding the connection. Oh my God, that's where it is. So this is the first one. Fire event here. This, and then this thing. And your socket event type is going to be this dot not authorized. Your network identity here is a new one of these things. You don't have an account, is authorized is false. Your socket is your e.socket to them. Nothing there. And nothing there. And then same thing here. Now, you're already running here, so you should be able to get your network identity. It's connections.try_get_value of your e.socket.get hash code. If this works and we get out an identity variable, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Then what we want to do is fire this event and then remove it. Oh, I didn't remove it. Like that. Okay. You're making a new one here, that's fine. I just want to make sure that you're only ever creating that one time. So when you find this thing, you want to do a new one of these, and you're going to look everywhere for this. Take a minute. Oliver, if you haven't, all of these videos from the very first one up to where we currently are at, they're up at youtube.com/c/liverdevtrying. Ah, cool. Yeah, here, let me put that up. And then also I'll put up the Discord as well. Oops. Okay, I think we're good to run it. We're about to go into the song request hour, which is cool. So get ready for that. Get your songs ready. Is it broke somewhere? Or no, that's the browser. Object is not set to an instance. What is not? Network connection. Network connection is null, so it never fired network connection. I think I just hit enter too fast. Let's try it again. Because you have to let that start up the service first and connect. That includes retrieving a token off the identity server and then submitting it. Okay. So it's connected again. Here we want to send over this identity socket. Okay, and now I want to see if that's being picked up over here on the overlay app. Wow. Okay, you need to make sure here that you're doing a fire event here. And this one's going to be your object and then your E. I guess it's going to be a new one of these things. And it's not an E, it's a sender. And this is a connection event type, is going to be a message event type. So we want to switch on that. Like this. We'll put this one here first. This is a message event type is sent. Network identity here is you have to get that. Or do you have the identity here? You're creating an identity in here somewhere, right? So here we need to create a protected network identity view model. We need to make a new network identity here equals this new one of these. We'll put it here. And then your packet is your packet. Same thing here with received. And then you want to do the same thing here on networking event for your error event args. It's going to be a sender and then a new one of these BLL socket error event args. Exception here is equal to my e.exception. My message is equal to my e.message. My network identity is equal to my network identity, and then the, that's it. 1, 2, 3. Let's give that a run. I just want to make sure also that in the program, it should have something in here to manage it, and I think it does. So we'll see it here. It should print. Okay, now we received it. It's going to write it now. And now it worked. So we can go ahead and we can delete all of our breakpoints. You can see that we have, this is our WebSocket client over here. Okay, so over here it says that this is actually unauthorized on my test client, right? That was here in test client. Any key to start server. It says that it's running, and then it's actually disconnecting it because, not sure. Stop it, try one more time. Sorry I had to go, what did I miss? Just about got the networking thing completed, and then we can keep working on the routing. The WebSocket server is acting a little funny though, but I think it's because I'm not authorizing it. I don't know, I'll have to see in just a second. Because I know this is all working fine. It says it's connected. So that's cool. So we got our connection. It says that it's unauthorized, but over here, when we got our new connection here, this didn't fire. So here, authorized connection, received, stop, start, connection event, this one. This one, you're saying that you're passing this new so here, is this thing ever being hit? Yeah, let's try that here. Bum 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 ba ba da ba bum. Okay, here it is. My connection event here looks good. It should say that it's unauthorized, and then we should get one that is authorized. So now it's working. Heck yeah. And then over here, this is on the other one. And you can see that those two are working. So, okay guys, I gotta take a 10-minute break. I'll do it real quick, 10, I'll put like 12 minutes up on the clock. We'll go real fast. And then we come back, we're gonna do song request hour. So get your songs ready. I'll put some in the clock before we go. And then we'll do the last, I think I can only do about 40 minutes because I got appointment at 10, which I have to get ready for. So I'll see you guys in just a little bit. Thanks for staying with me. And Oliver, no, tell me what is cool that you found out. And again, I'll see you in just a minute. Thanks for staying with me.